Hello everyone, and welcome to Under the Covers. This is my final video of 2012, and before I get into it, I just want to let everyone know that in 2012 I reviewed 12 books. It's not as many as I would have liked to have reviewed, but once a month, one book a month is it's not bad, right? One review a month. Some people don't even read 12 books in a year, so who cares, right? Anyways, in 2012, I read a total of 45 books, not to mention the numerous short stories I've read and poems I've read for school or for my own enjoyment. But I read 45 books. My goal was to read 52 books, but I didn't get to it. I'm in the middle of number 46, so maybe that's a little bit better. But I decided to do something with these 45 books that I've read this year. And what I'm going to do is, for this video, I'm going to do a top 5 countdown. I'm also going to throw in some honorable mentions before I get into the top 5 countdown. So here it goes. The first honorable mention is The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. If you like character-driven novels, and if you like war novels, this is a book I would recommend to you. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the characterization of the characters. And, that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about the novel and made it a really good novel to me. The next honorable mention is Black No More by George S. Schuyler, I'm sorry. And this book is about a black man who has a medical procedure to turn white and how it changes his life, and how the people who did the procedure mass market it to the black community, and how it affects the economy and life for both white people and black people. And it's really satirical and it's really funny, and I really enjoyed it. Once again, Black No More by George S. Schuyler. The next, it's not a book, it's a graphic novel. It's actually the entire series, but I only own the first one. I rented the rest from the library. Is Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life. This is the first one, but it's the entire Scott Pilgrim series by Brian Lee O'Malley. And I like to consider myself a bit of a nerd when it comes to like video games and music and just nerdy stuff in general. And there's a lot of reference to that in this series. It's really funny. Oh, he's pointing to me. In this series, and I really enjoyed it. The movie takes all the graphic novels and puts them into one, and that's cool to get the entire series in. But it also leaves a lot of stuff out. It leaves a little bit of the humor out as well too. So, Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life, or the Scott Pilgrim series, is an honorable mention. The next honorable mention is The Reluctant Fundamentalist by Mohsin Hamid. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with non-American name pronunciation, because I'm also bad with American name pronunciation, because you never know how someone's name is pronounced. And this is a novel about a man from Pakistan who travels to America to go to Princeton. He also becomes very financially successful, and then the events of 9/11 happen, and it changes the whole American view of people from the Middle East. And it's a really interesting novel. It's got a lot of metaphor and a lot of symbolism, and I really enjoy, picking up on stuff like that when I read. Once again, that's The Reluctant Fundamentalist by Mohsin Hamid. Sorry again if I butchered the pronunciation. Okay, now time to get into the top 5 books that I've read in 2012. Starting with number 5. Sorry, I don't do cool graphics. I just do hand signals. Number 5 is Top Dog Underdog by Suzan-Lori Parks. and it's actually a play, and it's really there's a lot of humor in it, and I don't think it's meant to be satirical humor, and it's very witty, and it plays with this idea of two brothers named Lincoln and Booth and their interactions, and it plays on the the real life situation between Abraham Lincoln and John Wilkes Booth, and I thought that was very well done in this, and it made my list of my top 5 favorite books I've read, so had to have been doing something right. Number 4 is The Sirens of Titan by Kurt Vonnegut. And I know I should have read this book a long time ago, but I haven't. I've read a lot of other Kurt Vonnegut books, though, so does that count? This, it's true Vonnegut. It's like classic Vonnegut. It's satirical, it's witty, it makes you question your existence on Earth and the whole issue of God and religion and why we're put here and who put us here. So it's really funny and really satirical and witty, and it's classic Vonnegut. Is this 3? Number three is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson, and I saw the movie first, the Will Smith one, and like when it first came out, and I've always been told you have to read the book, it's so much better, and I'm like, yeah, duh, the books are always better. And this is a case of where the book blows the movie away, by 20-fold, not just 10-fold or 7-fold, but 20-fold. It's really creepy. It's really haunting. It has that, this came out before a lot of zombie stuff came out, but it really started that theme of holding yourself up and trying to wait it out. And this is like the first book that ever did it. And it's really been picked up by zombie novels. And I just think that's really interesting because it's not a zombie novel. It's similar in some respects, but it also gets into the science of why this happens, and I really thought that was cool because some of the novels like that don't go into that at all, and it really does, and it also makes for a better novel, I think. So I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. I also reviewed that on Under the Covers. I also reviewed never mind, I didn't review Sirens of Titan. Next, number 2 is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. For all you nerd fighters out there, I don't really have to explain this book because we've all read it, right? And if you haven't, shame on you. This is about a girl, I forget her name. Hold on, Hazel, who has terminal cancer. And she meets a boy who also has cancer, and it's kind of like how they meet and how they end up liking each other, and how they kind of deal with having cancer. And it's very sad. John Green, I always say this, has the ability to make me laugh and cry within 5 minutes of each other. So I really enjoyed the novel. I really enjoy a lot of John Green's work. So number 2 on the list is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And time for number 1. I'm putting up 2 fingers for number 1 because it's a tie. That's right, a tie. I can do that. It's my channel. So if you don't like it, go to someone else's channel. But it's a 2-way tie for first place between The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz and Hairstyles of the Damned by Joe Mino. And I'm leaning more towards Hairstyles of the Damned to be number 1 because if you like musical culture, if you like especially the punk rock culture, you'll really like this book, especially if you grew up through the punk phase when you were in high school. And that's something you can relate to. You'll really like this book. That's why I really like this book, because I grew up listening to a lot of punk music and hanging around with, punk rock kids and going to punk rock shows. So it's something I can relate to more. So it's leaning more towards number one for me. But The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz is also very good. It's about a young man named Oscar Wilde and his brief wondrous life, obviously, but it deals with a lot of family issues. It also references nerd culture to the extreme. The character Oscar is like the nerd of all nerds, and it's about how he goes through his life, being cursed, or what his family would think is being cursed, and kind of how he relates to it, how he interacts with people. And there's just so much to this book that I've barely cracked the surface of it when I did my review of it. Same thing with Hairstyles of the Damned by Joe Mino. I did a review of it, and I barely scratched the surface of all the elements that are in these novels. So that was my top 5 of 2012. Before I close out the show, I want to thank everyone for subscribing, liking, and watching my videos, especially the people who've disliked my videos, because everyone has certain tastes and certain levels of entertainment. Not that this is entertaining. Well, it might be entertaining. So anyways, yeah, just thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed my videos. Hopefully you will continue to enjoy my videos in 2013. Like, subscribe, whatever. You don't even have to like or subscribe. As long as you watch the video, that's cool too. For 2013, I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing. Doing some book buying binges, as I call them, also known as book hauls. I'm going to do a lot of reviews. I'd already did my bookshelf tour, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks again, everyone. Hopefully you've all read some good books in 2012. If you haven't, 2013 is tomorrow, so you'll have the opportunity to read more good books. So with that said, see you later.